Alright guys, welcome back. And if you guys don't know what a turbo crank is, today I'm going to show you. I started this project the night the night after. It was the same night, but it was after I did the Central Machinery Sander video. And I took everything off of this bike. I took everything off. Had to redo this. Well, I kept the same one. I just undid it right there and kind of... Anyway, I'm super tired. It's ridiculously hot out here. Just a second. I don't know why this fan got turned off. My $20 Walmart fan. There we go. There we go. Now we're circulating some air. Alright, so... as you can see, there's some, sawdust on this thing. I was just cutting plywood for a project I'm doing. Anyway, turbo crank is basically when you file down the ends of your crank. Oh, I never even told you. If you don't know what a turbo crank is, I'm gonna be building one, and it's basically just it doesn't. I've took this for a ride this morning when I got done, about 6 in the morning or so, and, sorry, the sawdust is getting to me, and, I took it for a ride, and it did not improve the overall, top speed, but it did improve the... not fuel economy, but torque, getting up to top speed. This bike with this pipe only goes 31 max. With the stock pipe with the end off, with the baffle out, it will go 38.8 max, which is the absolute max I've ever got this to, and it's actually quite a lot for a little motorized bike. I'm fine with just the 28 to 30 because, you don't... I've been more doing just cruises around the neighborhood and around town with this now than actually, racing it. My friend, he has a go-kart, and we raced. He got me in it's a 212, too, Predator. Which, by the way, I probably said this in the last video, but I'm not doing that video because Alex's aunt, or whatever, wanted the cart frame back. Whatsoever, I am getting a Predator 212 motor. Just to... oh, sorry about the sawdust, God. But I'm getting a Predator 212 motor just to mess with it and make it into a performance motor. And after that, I probably will get a go-kart frame. I've seen some on Craigslist and Letgo. I know I say stuff about Letgo and Craigslist a lot, but if you don't want to buy something brand new, or you just don't want to, that's basically it. You just don't want to buy something that's brand new, then just go there. You can find something for cheap. Letgo is just around your area, so Craigslist is probably a better bet for if you want to find, bicycles or mini bikes or something. I'm either getting a mini bike frame or a go-kart frame. I want a go-kart because I think it'd be pretty cool to race my friend, but I want a mini bike because it's way easier to store. You don't have to, tip it upside down or take the motor off for the winter or whatever, because I have no room in here, really, unless I move the car outside, which I don't want the dash to get cracked or paint chipping or anything like my other car. So I have no room in here. And I don't have much room in the other shed. I would if I didn't have a ride lawnmower, but I'd rather have a ride lawnmower than a go-kart. By the way, I did a pulley swap on that, and I think it goes 20, just for the heck of it, and I'm probably going to straight pipe it just to make my neighbors hate me more. A lot of you guys say, you text me, it's mostly just my friends that watch these videos, you always text me and say, why do your neighbors hate you? Why do you make them hate you? This is all I'm gonna say. I don't give a flying you know what the neighbors think. My property, I can do what I want on it. So, sorry y'all, I got distracted. But back to the turbo crank issue. Not issue, but fix. It improved the torque. So, with no turbo crank, it took me 4.5 seconds to get up to 20 miles an hour, including pedaling. With the turbo crank, it took me 3.5 seconds to get up to 20 miles an hour from 8 miles an hour with pedaling. So it's pretty good size difference on torque. Like I said, I don't have like a dyno or anything. I'm never going to run this on a dyno, because the only person in the world, or at least in the US that I know of, that has a motorized bike dyno is Zeta Motorsports. Go check them out. I'm not leaving a link in the description because I don't know how to even do that, and I don't really care. Just pretty easy to find. Just ZEDA Motorsports. All about motorized bikes. You can enter their raffles for $5 a week, and you could win up to like a $800 motor with like frame reeds and stuff. That wasn't sponsored or anything. I like their channel, so go check them out. Anyway, with this thing, yeah, it improved the torque quite a bit. One other thing I'm gonna get is a offset intake manifold. As you can see, I messed with this air filter cover a little bit. Shaved that off with like a file and a little bit of sandpaper. And it doesn't look great. I tried to do blue and then red just for these little bar looking things, but that didn't work, so I just painted it blue again. And since the one foam air filter in those things don't do squat, I put the foam air filter from this carburetor in there. As you can see, there's no foam in there, it's just plastic cover. Those crappy foam air filters that they give you is basically just like having this little tiny piece of air conditioner foam in there, except it's just thicker and wider foam particles. But put this right up to the camera, you guys can see directly through that. There's the fan, there's the dirt bike. Yeah, not good. So I put 2 of those in there, not those, but the other ones, and I painted it so I can know if it's actually catching dirt. Painted it yellow. I was just originally going to buy a lawnmower, like a traditional Briggs & Stratton lawnmower filter, but I went to Ace Hardware, and that's the closest hardware store that's not within 3 miles of my house. It's only about 0.8 miles away. I think I looked it up on Google. It said that. Went there. They wanted $8 for a piece of foam, probably about maybe from there to there. About there, which is about, I'd say 5 inches, maybe 6. No, about 5. 5 inches and an inch thick. I'm like, that's not happening when I can buy one on Amazon for $3. I scrapped both of those ideas and just doubled that up. So, turbo crank. I know, I've been getting off topic again. This is a turbo crank. This is my crappy little setup. Crappy little diagram. I'm not a drawer maker. Anyway, that's what a regular crankshaft looks like. Those things aren't round. You can get round cranks, but they're not round. Like, here's my other crappy drawing, not that. That's kind of what a crankshaft looks like. There's your piston, your rod, and your crank. That's what that looks like. That's what those look like. So there's your piston, and your rod, and your crank, and your bearings. So this is what a normal one looks like. Just the side of it. That's what a turbo crank looks like. And to give a comparison, I think I have these wood door stopper things I use around the house. That's kind of what a turbo crank looks like. So if you're looking at it from this angle, it'll look kind of like that, except very, probably like a 45-degree angle instead. Just one of them. See, this was flat. And you're looking at it flat. That's about what it would look like, except dramatic, like that. Like this. come on. About like that. Or maybe, come on. Maybe like that. The whole concept is you just do this. Take your file. Obviously, I use a bigger one like that. And a Dremel, of course, because it's going to take forever to file that. So you just Dremel or file that down, or angle grind it or whatever. Be very careful not to hit the rod or the inside part of the crank. That could cause fatal damage to your engine, especially a two-stroke. That's the whole point, is just, I guess it would be hydrodynamicsy, since gas is liquid, and anyway, the whole point is not to be a big blocky thing. Rubbing or hitting the air-fuel mixture. Instead, you have this, which more cuts through it, so which improves torque, in some cases high speeds, and especially RPMs. That's about all I have to say about that. It's difficult to do if you don't like messing with stuff. So if you don't like spending 3 days taking off your motor and putting it back together and taking it apart and maybe breaking stuff, then don't do it. You can go to a machine shop and have them do it. I looked up how much that may cost, and I think it said that would cost, god dang, how much money would that would cost, I think, if I remember right, I can't think of it. I don't know, I think it was something like 150 for an 80cc. 150 just for filing down the crank, and then like another 100. So it costs probably like 250. And it's not cheap. It's like sandblasting. You think it's cheap, you think it's easy. It's not easy, and it's not cheap. Fan. Sorry, I don't know if that was making noise or not. That's all I've got for this video. I've got my parents' car in the shop. Not this shop, but they took it. My mom took it to the shop, like Les Schwab or something, to get the brakes done. Needed new rotors, new brakes. Luckily, I'm not paying for that. This car is still running like a dream. Been sitting here for a while, obviously. I'm probably gonna take it out to the store to get some fried chicken or something. Not fried chicken. Stuff to make fried chicken for dinner. And, yeah. So, hope y'all are having a good day. I'm gonna go inside and get me a glass of water. And I'll see you next time.